Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Story Class. I'm David.
And I'm Sarah. Today, we're talking about something every English learner struggles with, vocabulary.
That's right. Learning new words can feel difficult, but it doesn't have to be.
In today's episode, we'll show you an easy way to learn vocabulary in English, especially if you're a beginner.
So, you've started learning English and your notebook is already packed with new words. You spend hours trying to memorize them, but the next day, poof, they're gone. It feels overwhelming, like a frustrating chore, right?
What if I told you there's an easy way to learn English vocabulary that feels more like a game than homework? In this video, David and I are going to show you 3 simple, proven tricks that will help you finally remember new words without the stress. Right, David?
Exactly. Let's get into it.
All right, let's talk about why just memorizing lists of words doesn't work.
Here's the thing about your brain. It's not a computer that just saves files.
Definitely not.
It's wired to remember things that are important, interesting, and connected to what you already know. When you try to learn random, disconnected words, you're basically working against your brain's natural programming.
Is that why we forget so quickly?
Yes, exactly.
Interesting. The easy way isn't about studying harder, it's about studying smarter. It's about making learning a natural part of your day, connecting words to your life, and turning it into a fun activity you actually look forward to.
The goal is to move new words from your short-term memory, which is tiny, to your long-term memory, where they can stick around forever. These 3 methods are designed to do exactly that.
The single biggest mistake beginners make is learning words in isolation. They see a word like available and just memorize the translation. But what does available really feel like? How do you actually use it? The secret is context. Learning a word inside a sentence or a situation is the most powerful way to make it stick.
Okay, that makes sense. So, how do we do this?
Let me show you 2 really simple techniques. First is what I call the mini story method. Instead of learning a random list of 5 words, you're going to create a super short, simple story that uses all of them.
Let's say you want to learn these 5 words: kitchen, delicious, prepare, hungry, and finally. Trying to memorize that list is tough, but what if you created a story? It can be silly and simple. For example, I was so hungry, I went to the kitchen to prepare a sandwich. It was delicious. Finally, my stomach was happy.
See the difference?
Yeah.
The words are now connected in a logical story. They have a purpose. Your brain can see this little movie playing in your head, and the words become part of the picture.
When you want to remember the word prepare, you might think of making that sandwich. The story is the key that unlocks the words. I really encourage you to write these stories down. The physical act of writing helps burn them into your memory.
The second technique is the real-world labeling method. This one is incredibly simple and surprisingly effective. You grab some small sticky notes and write the English names of objects all over your house. Then you stick the labels on those objects.
Right. Put a note that says mirror on your mirror, one that says refrigerator on your fridge. Label the door, window, table, and chair.
This is genius for 2 reasons. First, it connects the word directly to the physical object, which is a powerful memory hook. Every time you see the object, you see the English word.
You're surrounding yourself with English.
Second, it makes learning passive and effortless. You don't have to sit down to study. You learn as you walk around your home. Try to say the word out loud every time you see it. This helps move the word from something you just read to something you can actually say. This method turns your home into your own personal English learning playground.
Let's be honest, if learning feels like a chore, you'll find any excuse not to do it. But if it feels like a game, you'll want to keep playing.
This second method is all about turning vocabulary practice into a fun activity you can do anytime, anywhere. The classic vocabulary game is flashcards, but we're going to give them a serious upgrade to make them way more effective.
Don't just write the English word on one side and your translation on the other. That's a decent start, but we can do so much better.
On the side with the English word, add a little something extra. Instead of writing just happy, draw a tiny smiley face next to it. For the word rain, doodle a small cloud with raindrops. This creates a visual link, and our brains are much, much better at remembering images than just plain text.
Now flip it over. On the other side, instead of only the translation, write a simple example sentence. For happy, you could write, I am happy when I eat ice cream. This connects the word to a real feeling and an activity. That's the context we just talked about.
The real game is in how you use them. Don't just flip through the stack in the same order every time. Shuffle them. Making it random forces your brain to actively recall the word instead of just remembering what came next.
You can also turn it into a speed challenge. See how many cards you can get right in 60 seconds, then try to beat your own score tomorrow. That little competition with yourself is incredibly motivating.
Of course, there are also amazing apps that turn learning into a literal game. Apps like Duolingo, Memrise, and others use quizzes, points, and daily streaks to keep you hooked.
Those are fantastic because they often include audio so you can hear how a native speaker says the word. They also use spaced repetition, which is a perfect lead-in to our next method.
The key here is to find what's fun for you. Whether it's drawing on cards or earning points on an app, the goal is the same. Make practice enjoyable. When you're having fun, you're not studying, you're playing. And you can play for a lot longer than you can study.
So, you've learned a new word in context and you've practiced it with a fun game. How do you make sure you don't forget it by next week? The answer is repetition, but not just any repetition. Smart repetition.
The answer is repetition, but not just any repetition. Smart repetition. Ever notice how you can study a word 10 times in an hour and still forget it the next day? But if you see that same word just once a day for a few days, it sticks.
Yeah.
That's because of something called the forgetting curve. As soon as you learn something, your memory of it starts to fade. And it fades fast. To stop it from disappearing, you need to review it at just the right moment. This is where a technique called spaced repetition comes in.
The idea is simple. You review a new word at increasing intervals. You check it a short time after you first learn it, then a little later, and then even later. Research shows this is one of the most effective ways to move information into your long-term memory.
You don't need a complicated system for this. Here's a super simple schedule you can follow.
The 10-minute review. After you learn a new set of words, try to recall them about 10 minutes later.
The 24-hour review. Look at the words again the next day.
The 1-week review. Review those same words again a week later.
After going through this schedule, that word will be so much stronger in your mind. This is why keeping a vocabulary notebook is so important. It makes this whole process a breeze.
A brilliant technique to use with your notebook is write, look, cover, repeat. Let's say you're learning the word beautiful. First, write. In your notebook, draw a line down the middle of the page. On the left, write the English word, beautiful. On the right, write the meaning or a simple sentence. The flower is beautiful.
Second, look. Spend about 30 seconds just looking at both sides, really connecting the word to its meaning. Third, cover. Now, cover the English side. Look at your sentence, the flower is beautiful, and try to say the English word out loud, beautiful.
And finally, repeat. Do this for a few words, then switch it up. Cover the meaning side. Look at the word beautiful and try to remember the sentence you wrote. This simple act of actively recalling the information instead of just passively reading it strengthens the memory pathways in your brain.
Combining this active recall with the spaced repetition schedule is the ultimate 1-2 punch for locking words into your long-term memory for good.
All right, English learners, here's a quick bonus tip to help you learn vocabulary even faster. Learn words in families. Whenever you learn a new word, take an extra 30 seconds to look up a synonym and an antonym.
For example, when you learn the word happy, you can also learn joyful as a synonym and sad as an antonym. When you learn big, you can learn large as a synonym and small as an antonym.
This is a super efficient trick because for the effort of learning one word, you're actually getting 2 or 3. It helps you build a web of connected words, making your vocabulary richer and your memory that much stronger. So there you have it, 3 simple, powerful methods to learn English vocabulary the easy way.
The most important thing to remember is that you don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. You can absolutely do this.
Learning vocabulary isn't about having a special talent, it's about having the right system. And now you have that system.
And hey, if you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more tips to help you master English.
Thank you so much for watching. I am David.
And I am Sarah. See you in the next video.
And keep speaking English.